Welcome to Cedar Club, Quincy's favorite local bar. A friendly corner bar with a laid-back atmosphere and affordable drinks. It's the perfect spot for a great time. With entertainment galore, including shuffleboard, golden tea, pool, foosball, and winning gaming machines. Cedar Club's latest edition is the best spot to catch your favorite game. Great drinks, great friends, and great times. Cedar Club, 20th and Cedar in Quincy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Donna Lockhart with the Hannibal Writers Guild. Welcome, Dana.
Thank you for having me.
Well, of course. So, a lot to talk about, but let's start with happy birthday. I wasn't going to sing because, I'll just spare everybody. But happy birthday to the Hannibal Writers Guild. You
Yes.
are how old?
We are 7 years old this year.
7 years old. That is, it kind of seems like, middle school age or whatever. But I imagine for something like the Writers Guild, that is, it's pretty impressive.
It is.
Because it takes members to keep this going. And of course, talent, but also resources, which is what you do at the Hannibal Writers Guild,
Yes.
right?
We provide resources to writers and creatives of all ages and experiences to provide them with people that they can connect with, like editors and agents and illustrators, as well as community feedback. We do critiques and write-ins, and it's a great community for local writers in the Hannibal area.
Very cool. And I knew that there were entities that existed like this, but I didn't know there was one in Hannibal. So I'm really excited to chat a little bit about. Yes. So we can get to the history in just a second, but let's talk about membership to start, because it is comprised of members, and you just became a non-for-profit.
We did. We became a nonprofit shortly about, I think it was March last year.
Okay. So you are based solely on membership and donations and maybe some grant fund. How does that work?
We haven't touched into grants yet since we're so new on the nonprofit, but we do have membership dues, but at this time they are entirely optional because we just want to help local writers. The only thing a membership does right now is get you in the anthology whenever we publish one.
Yes.
And voting rights. But other than that, we're entirely free for people to come and hang out.
Perfect. Yeah, what a great resource. So talk a little bit more about the anthology.
Yes, our anthology, we just published this August of last year. It is our first anthology and we hope to publish more. This one is kind of a hodgepodge. We just let people submit whatever they wanted to. It has a collection of fiction, nonfiction, and poetry from, I believe it is 12 members and over 40 works.
Wow. That's incredible. I'm going to have to read that. So I imagine that it spans the spectrum of all types of writing and all literary works and ideology. Is that right?
Definitely.
Okay.
We have a little bit of fantasy, some realistic fiction, some satire, some funnies. I believe there's even a little bit of religious in there as well. So it's just a good hodgepodge of everything.
That's very cool. And while we're on the topic of books, you were a little modest or humble about this, but you wrote a book.
I did.
And it's published. And what's it about?
Yes, I published a book in 2009 called The Unlife of William Moore. It is about a very pathetic vampire. It's kind of my response to the over-romanticization of monster stories in general. So it's kind of a little dark, but a little lighthearted. And then I also have a poetry book that I published in 22, I believe, called In the Deluge, focusing on themes of water and overcoming emotional floods. And I'm hoping to publish another one this year.
Wow. Yeah. Good for you. Congratulations. I mean, really, I love reading, but to write is a whole nother animal, and I wouldn't even know where to start, which I assume is where the Writers Guild comes into play, right? So did you know what you were doing before becoming a part of, you're the president, right?
I am.
Did you form this group? Or
I did not. I was at the very first meeting, though. I was actually looking for a community because I was on the verge of publishing The Unlife, but I needed help because I had kind of tried the traditional route of talking to agents, talking to houses, and I just wasn't really getting anywhere. So I needed to either learn how to do that better or learn how to self-publish. And it just so happened that Ryan Freeman, our president, decided to form the Hannibal Writers Guild because the Quincy Writers Guild had very recently disbanded at the time in January of 2018. And so he decided to create the Hannibal Writers Guild based off of the St. Louis Writers Guild, which he was a member of and going to frequently, but he wanted to connect with writers here in this area.
Okay.
I happen to be one, and I can very confidently say without the Hannibal Writers Guild and the St. Louis Writers Guild, that book would not have gotten published.
No. Yeah, so it definitely did its job.
It did its job.
Yeah. Now, do you continue to use those resources to help, get feedback? Because I imagine as a published writer, you know kind of the ins and outs of the process, but you still want that community feedback, right?
Oh, definitely. I continue to go to St. Louis Writers Guild meetings. They host conferences as well where you can go and speak directly to agents and pitch your books and connect with those people, because sometimes you need an illustrator for a book. And
right.
if you go to St. Louis Writers Guild, they can connect you with them. We can connect you with them at the Hannibal Writers Guild. We have some illustrators in our group as well, and editors, and the feedback community for like beta reading and stuff. It's a huge help, and all of it's for free. St. Louis Writers Guild is also a nonprofit, and we're both members of the Missouri Writers Guild branches, so there's a lot of resources out there for free for authors.
That's, yeah, I would assume that it's not only necessary, but greatly received, right? I mean,
Very.
So quickly walk me through the process, because it's so overwhelming to me as a, regular Joe Schmo trying to think about, writing and publishing a book. So you just write down your thoughts, you get feedback. What's like the first thing that you do? You come up with the theme, I guess, or...
Yeah, you kind of start with an idea. There is a couple different routes you can go. If you're writing a fiction book, there's generally two ways. You either start with a character and then build your world, or you start with a world and then put characters in it.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of different ways you can go about it. You can do outlines if that works for you. You can just start writing your thoughts if that works for you. You can... With our group, we would have people come in and bring in a chapter every meeting, and we would go over it and talk about the plot holes or grammatical mistakes or what you're doing well and what you need to keep doing because it's working very well. And like a lot of writing is a solo process because a lot of writers are introverts.
Sure.
But if you find a safe environment, you can definitely speed up your process a lot.
Excellent. And then you write it all out and you send it to like an editor or somebody to take a look at it, or is that right? I mean, okay.
Once you kind of have a rough draft finished, that's when at that point you start looking for editors. You might also do a little editing on your own with things like Grammarly and of course Word and Google Docs. All of the documents you can throw it into, run it through very clean, because your editors will charge you more.
Right.
If it's not well published beforehand. Then you take it to an editor, kind of have them clean it up a little bit, and at that point you kind of have a choice to make. Do you want to go traditional publishing or do you want to go self-publishing? Yeah. And you can kind of pursue two at the same time. If you want to put out some queries to agents or houses, you can do that while also preparing it for self-publishing if that falls through.
Okay, gotcha. And then every step of the way, Hannibal Writers Guild
every
is
step of the
there.
way.
I love that. I think a lot of people have that creativity, that talent, but to encourage the next step that's pretty incredible, especially in a small community. Yeah.
Yep. The introvert problem is a problem.
Yeah,
and we can also help with that too.
Yeah.
Because like I was a huge introvert before I went to the Hannibal Writers Guild, and it actually helped me make friends. And now I'm a spokesperson for it. How that happened,
I was going to say, look at you now, girlfriend. This is awesome.
Yes, doing public speaking and stuff.
Yes.
Like you're able to grow within your community and become better, not only as a writer but also as a person.
I love it. Yeah, very incredible. And of course, you're always looking for members, right?
We are.
Okay. And you have meetings. Is it once a month?
Yes, we have meetings once a month. They are the second Saturday of every month at 210 North 10th Street. 210 North 5th Street, excuse me, at the Laura Hawkins house, beautiful greenhouse, historic home. Allows us a lot of privacy and quiet, and we could spread out in the space. And we're kind of working on an every other month schedule right now, where in 1 month we bring in an industry speaker, whether that's an editor, an illustrator, an agent, a genre expert, and they come in and provide a talk and teach us about whatever it is they're knowledgeable about. And then on the other month, we do write-ins where it's time to get to work. We take what we applied, what we learned, and apply it to what we're working on. We try to also provide quiet spaces. If you have a lot of kids and a husband and you don't get time to write, this is your time to write. So you're able to break off and get some writing done if you need to. You can search for people to do critique groups with. You can do an open mic and just share what you're working on, whether you want feedback or not.
Yeah.
So we do like that. That way we're kind of learning and we're working at the same time.
Yeah. I love it. Now, is there a place where you can go, where I can go, maybe to see all of the published works that your group or your members have done? Is there somewhere like that?
Definitely working on it. We do have a website right now. It's hannibalrights.org, and I'm completely revamping it right now.
Okay.
So we're going to have the Hannibal history on there. We're going to have the ability to buy books through our website, to see the works of other members, to be able to pay your dues if you want to, get more information about the guild. It's all going to be there. Should hopefully have that up in a couple months.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I know how that is. Yeah, totally get that. But yeah, reading is so very, very important. And, you know, without writing, there is no reading. And without creative minds, of course, there is no writing. And without the encouragement of something like Hannibal Writers Guild, it makes it very difficult for local writers to find the resources or even the courage to do it. So I think it's really, really cool. One more time, if people want more information on the Hannibal Writers Guild or anything you guys are doing month to month or as a whole as a group, where would they go?
Yeah, so our website is up. It's just changing. It's hannibalrights.org, WRITES rights. And you can also reach me at hannibalrights@gmail.com. And we also have a P.O. box if you need to send in your dues or make an order, P.O. Box 137 at New London, Missouri.
Okay. Facebook?
Yeah, we're very active on our Facebook.
Perfect.
I think it's Hannibal Writers Guild, but I'm not 100% sure of the URL right now.
You can search it and find the group. Yeah, very cool. Dana, I appreciate you coming in. I think it's very, very cool. Anything that I missed? I don't want to miss anything. I don't think so. Well, happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Look forward to reading this. Of course, the anthology is, you know, the mixed works of all the great minds that come to your meetings. I think that's very cool. Yes. And also, good luck to all the writers, including yourself, for publishing future works. Yes. Be very excited to find more. Yeah,
our next meeting is February 8th at the 210 North 5th Street, and we're actually having our birthday party since we got snowed out last month.
There you go. Yeah, we can't forget about the celebration. Okay, so...
and we're going to have cake, and it's going to be like an open mic, free-for-all. We're going to have like word games, and we're just going to have a good fun time. So if you're curious about what we're about, it's a good time to hit us up, because you can ask me any questions you have while you're there, while we also have a little bit of fun.
I was going to say, and some cake.
And some cake.
Have your cake and write it too, right?
Yeah.
Dana, thank you so much for coming in. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Good luck with everything. I'll be excited to hear more as you continue to grow. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, DOB and tax schemes. Stay tuned.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Welcome out to Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer and it feels so right. I'll meet you out on Broadway underneath Shamrock Light. We're gonna have a good time on the patio tonight. There's a party down at Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer on a champagne night. We're feeling all alone and you got no place to go. So come down here and drink a beer on Kelly's patio. Kelly's a fun place to eat and drink. 2902 Broadway.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be. Before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
And welcome back. Ashley had to go run an errand, probably involving cocktails, so I'm here with Don O'Brien of the Better Business Bureau. Welcome.
Are you the closer?
I am the closer, the lefty out of the pen.
Lefty out of the pen.
Like bringing in Roboski back in the day. Because I didn't throw as hard as Randy Myers or John Franco. I could throw as hard as Al Roboski, though.
Of course you can.
Surely. So, it's tax time, baby.
Tax season is here, and this is one of the ones we talk about every year when it gets around this time of year. We want to make sure that, if you're going to look for a tax preparer, you find a good one. Make sure you're aware of the scams that might be out there. And the one thing that we always try to let people know about is that if somebody does have your information, let's say they have your social security number, they have your birth date, we get reports, the IRS certainly gets reports of people who file taxes in their place. So file early if you can. By the end of the month, you should have all your information from your employer. So we want you to make sure that you don't have to be Ned Flanders on New Year's Eve and right when the clock turns 0. Remember that Simpsons episode?
Yeah.
Ned gets out his stuff and he starts doing his taxes. We don't expect you to be that prudent, but make sure that you're on the ball, because if you do get everything done in time and upfront, even if you pay, make sure you file those so that way somebody doesn't come in and just file behind you.
They're also talking about some way where in Illinois now you can actually file online and do everything online in Illinois.
You can. It's much easier now than it used to be. So you may be looking for somebody to prepare your taxes. You may be looking at a big national firm. You may be looking at a small mom and pop. You want to make sure you ask them a lot of questions. The first thing you want to ask them is, how much is this going to cost me? Do a cost comparison. If you've, when I was younger, when you probably were young, we did our own taxes. We didn't have kids, we didn't have homes. You just do the easy form, boom, you're gone. But life now gets in the way. You've got other things you need to worry about. So if you're in the market for a tax preparer, ask a lot of questions. What's it going to cost me? We live right here on the river. So some people may live in Illinois and work in Missouri, which is what I do. Because even though I'm the Quincy BBB, our home office is in St. Louis. So technically my employer is in Missouri. So it's a second form that I have to fill out every year. So that's going to cost me extra than if I just lived and worked in the same state. Ask them, how long will it take to file? It's so easy nowadays for when you go there, there's, okay, we'll pop this online, you hear something. And that turnaround for those of you wanting to get your money back, if you are due a refund, it's pretty quick. So the earlier you do it, the better off you are.
Even for someone like you with a vast investment portfolio that has to, you probably have to sit down with your accountant for what, a couple of days?
No, about an hour is all I go to, and I found a local provider to do that, and I asked those people. I used to go to one of the nationals, now I go to a local one. Fees are big. How much is this going to cost me? So you may find that the national big brand, or if you do it online through one of their applications, is better to do than a local person. But if you do go to that small mom and pop, obviously those national ones are going to be staved in August. If all of a sudden IRS comes knock on your door and says, Mr. O'Brien, we're auditing you. Some of those smaller businesses may or may not be there in April 16th, the day after. How do you get a hold of them after the fact? If you do get audited, are they going to, will they help you with that audit? Do they have to pay them more for that audit? We do get a lot of complaints through the BBB about the smaller, mainly in big cities, not here in Quincy, but in our St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri area, folks that do taxes, and then they never hear from them once something either they don't get their refund or something goes wrong and there's no one for them to contact. So always make sure you get good contact information on how can I get a hold of you if something goes wrong down the line.
Yeah, it's, especially when the pandemic was underway, there were a lot of situations where a lot of this was going on and dealing with pandemic money and all that. And even though it's settled down a little bit now, still, you still have to be, vigilant and make sure, hey, I just want to get my stuff taken care of.
Yeah, and, family and friends can be a great resource. Better Business Bureau obviously can be a resource too. You can go online, bbb.org. Doesn't cost you a thing to figure out. You can read about any complaints they have. Obviously, the national ones we're going to have information on. The small mom and pops, maybe not so much, but you can still turn to BBB and see if we have information on them because. Again, we want to make sure we connect you with good people, and the last thing you want to do when you're trying to get money back from the government is lose it through some type of scam or some type of not very good preparer.
And also, if you've got kids in college, you have to deal with that. And sometimes your kid, when you get your kids in college, sometimes they still have to file, or they might not make enough money to file. But not only take care of yourself, make sure your kids are taken care of as well.
A lot of layers of the onion, yeah. So again, you've got plenty of options out there, and make sure you find someone good to do these taxes for you, and file early if you can. Don't wait till April 14th, because if your information is out there and somebody's already filed, they could already file for you. Maybe get money back that could have been coming to you, although there's falsified anyway. But anyway, just if you get caught up into that, I know people who that's happened to, and it's just a mess for them. So file early. I would say file often, but just file early.
All right. Don O'Brien, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
That's all the time we have for now. We will be here tomorrow for some Club Muddy.